everyone watching Eye on HB. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brenda Malilay, and we're right here in downtown Huntington Beach enjoying the weather, but also enjoying Surf City Nights. We're going to also cover a little bit more about Surf City Nights and also something very important, which is the new traffic violations for California 2019 and what will happen if you violate them. So we're going to cover that, but first we're going to go to Kelly Hall. She's a teen life coach, and she's got a lot to say about mindset. So let's tune in. Hello, everyone. This is Brenda Malilay on Eye on HB, and today I am talking to Kelly Hall, teen life coach. She does some work with teens in and around the city. So, Kelly, tell me a little bit about what you do and what you talk about when you are in front of all of these the high schoolers.
So are you asking about my coaching, or are you asking about when I go speak at the high schools?
A little bit of both. So let's start at when you are at the high schools speaking to them as a group.
Okay. Yes, I do like to speak at a lot of high schools. That's one of my favorite things, because a lot of what I talk about is mindset, and I could talk about mindset all day long. Okay. So at the crux of it, I am a mindset coach. So a mindset coach, success coach, that type of thing. And I prefer to work with teenagers because I feel like when I was a teenager, I really could have used someone like me. And I don't know how many of us there are out there. And I also feel like if somebody would have just said, you got what it takes, you matter, you can do this, I might have been more apt to try. Right. You know?
Right.
So when I go speak at the high schools, I let them know that their circumstances, their present circumstances, have no bearing on who they are as a person, how far they can go in life, what they can do. They get to decide that. They get to control that.
Exactly. So I think this is a very important thing to do, especially with our teens today. Tell me a little bit about what got you really motivated to do this for them.
I became a coach a few years ago, and when you get your coaching certifications, people tend to help like their own kind, you know, like women helping women, or, you know, that kind of a thing, their niche. And when I got my first coaching certificate, I was helping women. And I woke up one night and I was like, no, teens is where it's at, because when I needed someone, I was a teen. You know what I mean? Like, it's that if I knew then what I know now, oh my gosh, you know, I'm creating this wonderful world for me and my son. And it didn't really click until I was like in my 40s, you know?
Wow.
I'm 47.
She looks awesome, though.
So it's been like awesome. Not that many years to where it's really clicked, and I really got it right, and I was able to gain the momentum and build a foundation that's wonderful, and I want to give that to them because that's when I most needed it. I want to give that to them.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're so lucky to have you, actually, somebody who cares about them. So what do you think is the breakdown or the reason why they don't get that elsewhere?
Well, I don't think I'm the only one providing it, obviously. And I'm not saying that all teens out there aren't getting it elsewhere. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot that don't. There's some that fall through the cracks. I was not a bad student, but I wasn't like the overachiever, look at me student either. So I kind of fell through the cracks, you know? And a lot of the teens I work with are like that. It's kind of like ho-hum, just getting through the day. And fortunately, at least my clients' parents are like, oh my gosh, I want more for my kid. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I want them to be able to get the support and whatever that they feel like they're missing, or maybe they can't talk to me about, you know? There is a communication problem between parents and teens. Obviously, again, not for everybody, but it can happen. I know it was certainly that way with me and my mom when I was growing up, and I have a few clients now that is the case, and so I like to try to bridge that gap, because the most important relationship is the one with your parents.
It sure is. So on that note, you talk to the teens, but do you talk to the teens about talking to their parents, or do you talk to the parents saying, hey, we need to talk?
Yes. When I'm working one-on-one with a teen, of course, I'm encouraging that person to take it to their parents and talk to their parents. And the thing is that their parents are the ones that are hiring me. So they're already open. You know, they want their children to receive the guidance and the help that they're looking for. So it's very silly, kind of, when I broach the subject, like I was explaining to you earlier before, about the one client I had that was afraid to talk to her mom about something certain. I said, you know, your mom is going to be totally open and stoked you're talking to her about this. After all, she hired me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yet there's still this, you know, oh, I'm afraid, you know, to tell my mom. But on a more somber note, it's so important, and it's actually what drives me as far as like being a mother and being a teen and being a teen coach and wanting to bridge the gap with communication. When I was in high school, my close friend committed suicide. And she was 16 and she was pregnant and she was too afraid to tell her parents. And at the time, I mean, I was devastated. My friend was gone. And I remember the looks on her parents' faces at the funeral. And then when I became a mom 11 years ago, I had this sense of panic, you know, like I was like, I have to make sure that my son knows that he can tell me anything, that there's nothing he can't tell me. And I have to make sure, you know, like this. And so we've had this real open relationship. I mean, of course, he tells on himself with me, knowing that there's going to be consequences, but he would rather do that than me find out later. And he also knows that, you know, I love him unconditionally, you know? And so I just feel that communication, you can't be afraid to tell your parents something so big that you'd rather die.
So true. So true. And they do need to feel that they are unconditionally loved.
Yes.
By their parents. I think they gravitate to you because you're safe. You're somebody who, I feel safe. I'm not going to get any.
Non-judgmental.
Yes,
I've heard
non-judgmental.
some whoppers, and I do not judge.
Well, that's also probably a reason, because sometimes parents do. So to have somebody who, you know, will really truly listen and maybe come up with some solutions is really a help. So this is wonderful what you do. So now you do one-on-ones, but I hear you like to do more on a bigger scale.
I have a group coaching program, and this one is for parents and teens. And the program is called Don't Get Shut Out, Reconnecting with Your Teen. So I think the name says it all, because you're reconnecting. Again, it's all about the communication. And then there's different parts that we focus on. It's a 16-week program. And one of those parts that's very important is the forgiveness angle. Because whatever's gone on to get you to a point where you are at now can be forgiven and let go. You know, for me, like I said, you know, my mom was a teen mom, and she worked very hard, and she did a great job keeping the roof over my head, and I was safe. You know, I was in a safe environment, but I didn't have that connection that I wish I had had. And when I was a little bit older, I got to this forgiveness phase. It was like, kind of put myself in her shoes. You know, she was a teenager. Wow, I could not have done that. You know, maybe I could have, but I don't know. And then, you know, her father committed suicide. Her uncle committed suicide. You know, when my parents split up and she left, she had no driver's license, no college experience, no work experience. And to me, that's very brave. And once I was able to grasp that, I was like, oh my God, I love my mom so much. She's so amazing. She's the best mother in the whole wide world. And I feel that if we can grasp each other's stories, we can really let that go. So we do a little bit of that in there also.
Wow, I agree. You do so much for them. It takes somebody very special, because that's a lot to take over, to take, you know, people that you don't know, you listen to their stories, you know, so I really, really appreciate, and so much for the community. I just thank you so much, Kelly, for what you do.
Thank you. Well, I'll keep in touch with you.
Definitely.
I'll
And
invite
then
you to the top.
how can people get in touch with you?
My website is kellyhallcoaching.com. So my phone number's there, every way to reach me. You can email me there, or if you want to just email me straight, it's kelly@kellyhallcoaching.com.
Wonderful. Well, get in touch with Kelly. She's wonderful. She knows what she's doing. So I thank you so much for giving me that insight. That was a great thing for me to know, because I see it all the time where kids do need that, sometimes before they get to high school. So this is wonderful, and thank you so much for what you do. Thank you, Kelly, for your wonderful insight and advice. And now we're going to talk about California's new 2019 traffic laws. Hello, everyone watching Eye on HB. This is Brenda Malilay. Thanks for tuning in. Now, we are near the middle of our first month of 2019, and with that comes some new rules for the new year. So I wanted to go over those with you. Anybody who drives is going to know that they're going to really need these rules. So I'm going to go over them with you. Take notes if you should, because this is really important, because it could cost you a lot if you make any mistakes. So let's go through them. If you're not carrying your driver's license and you're pulled over, that's going to be $250 out of your pocket. After 6 days without a change of new address, you're going to have to pay $230. Driving without insurance and causing an accident, that's a huge one, $5,000, and your license is suspended for 5 years. Run a red light, and that's going to cost you $900. Crossing a double yellow line, $500. A turn, U-turn, or a turn violation, $350. Speeding from 1 to 15 miles per hour over the speed limit, $250. Speeding from 16 to 25 miles per hour over, $450. Driving too slow, that's never going to be my problem, but that's going to be $399 out of your pocket if you're caught. Fail to fully stop at a stop sign, $270. Passing a school bus when lights are flashing, huge one, $885. Holding and or using the cell phone while driving. Your first offense is going to cost you $1,000, and your license is suspended for 3 years. Parking in a bus lane or zone, $900. That's a huge one. Don't park there, guys. It's dangerous for the kids as well. Failure to turn on your headlights before dark, $200. Tint is too dark on your door glass, $199. Failing to wear a seatbelt, that's a huge $200 deal. So keep wearing those seatbelts, guys. Children not wearing seatbelts or not in accordance with Highway Traffic Act, $599. Carpool lane violation, $505. Guys, just keep in mind that these rules apply this year and probably through the next. Remember, those amounts don't include all of the extra fees that they're going to put on top of those fees. So watch yourselves, be careful out there, and drive safely. And now we're going to mosey on down to Surf City Nights. We got a few new vendors down there. We're going to check them out.
Any room at the Hotel California.
Surf City Nights Street Fair and Certified Farmers Market is open every Tuesday night in downtown Main Street. The hours are from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. The first 3 blocks of Main Street are closed to traffic and transform into bustling lanes filled with local artisans, fresh produce, live music, kids' games, and much more. Local shops and eateries open their doors extra wide for the community on this night, offering sidewalk sales and exclusive deals. Come on by and check us out. We're always looking for new vendors. If you want to be a vendor, please visit the information booth. It's got the yellow top, and it's always on Main Street, and they'll be giving you all the information that you need. We'll see you there. To learn more about Huntington Surf City Nights and possibly how to become a vendor, go to www.hbdowntown.com. Again, that's www.hbdowntown.com. And thanks for watching another edition of Eye on HB. But don't forget, please like and share on our Facebook page, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until then, we'll see you next time.